Hey everybody, Sean Holsinger here from holsingersflyshop.com. Bringing you another time video today. This one was a request. One of our customers that we have, one of our regular customers, asked me to tie this on a video. He's been catching a lot of fish on it, and it's really simple. He just wanted me to share it with you guys. I call it the Easy PT, the Easy Pheasant Tail. Super simple. It's only a couple pieces of material. It's more or less a Frenchie without a collar is what it is. And one of the reasons why it works so good is because of the size. We're tying this in a 14. I tie them in a 14 and a 16, but the 14 I actually tie a little bit small. I don't tie it the whole way around the bend of the hook, and so it keeps it smaller. But when you flip over rocks, the mayflies, there's tons of mayflies in our area here. When you flip over rocks, the pheasant tail here matches the color pretty well, and it matches the profile of a mayfly real well. So that's the big reason why it works. We tie this with a silver bead. I tie it with a copper bead too. If if it's real bright and sunny, you may not want the silver. You may want to drop down to a copper bead, just to have less light hitting on it. So let's get into tying it here. What we're going to start out tying it on is the Firehole 320 hook. You can see it's got a nice curve. It's a Scud Pupa style hook. One extra gap with a medium size hook, and it's just a really nice hook for this pattern. I like a big wide hook gap, and this affords me that. The bead we're using on it is get her in focus here. There we go. The bead we're using on it is a 2.4 millimeter silver tungsten bead, and it's not a slotted bead, just a regular bead. Lead, we're going to add some lead to it. For lead, we're using .010, and I'm just going to give 10 wraps of lead on here. This is like if I'm not talking, this is like a 2-minute fly. This is one that you can whip out, have a lot of them in your box, and have them on your line, because as the summer goes on, especially here, things are going to get smaller. They're going to be eating a lot smaller flies. There's a lot smaller flies in the stream, and I drop down. Beginning of season, when the water's up and high and heavy, I go heavy flies, but as it starts to clear up, I drop down in size and have a lot of success. So the thread we're using is just a brown 70 denier ultra thread, and I'm just going to cover up that lead. Now I'm going to have a little disclaimer here. You could tie this without the lead. The main reason I tie it with the lead is not so much for the weight, but for the profile. Just to get that nice tapered look. And the next thing I'm going to put on is some copper wire, and I'm using small copper wire, ultra wire, and I tie it underneath. That's just where I like to tie it at. And I'll just tie it up there towards the bead, and we'll bring our thread back. And I'm going to bring my thread back right. If there was a barb on this hook, my Firehole hooks are barbless, but if there was a barb on this hook, that's where I'd be dropping my thread, right about where it's level with the barb. I don't want to go too far around the bend. It'll make the fly too long. Next thing I'm going to use is a piece of pheasant tail, and I'm just going to cut off some of those long fibers on there. And I'm only going to use about 5 of them, not too many, because I don't want this too thick. But like I said, I want a little bit of profile, but I don't want it too thick. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all those fibers. You see how they're different lengths? So I'm just going to tweak them around there and get them to try to be close to all the same length. You see there, I'm a little better at being the same length. And for the tail, I do not want a long tail on this. I want shorter, just slightly shorter than the body length. And I'm only going to put about 2 wraps on there. You can see my tail sticking out, and I got 2 wraps. And then I'm going to wrap my thread up, and then start wrapping my pheasant tail up. Like I said, you cannot get easier than this. It's simple. And it's fish catching. That's the best part about it. If you're a nymph fisherman, it's a must-have this time of year. This would be great. This would be great with the sulfurs coming off. I've been fishing a pheasant tail here now with the beginning of the sulfurs, and having a lot of success on it. So I'm just wrapping that right up tight against the bead, putting 1 or 2 wraps. Now we're just going to counter wrap the copper wire, and that'll hold our pheasant tail in place and strengthen it a little bit. And then we're just going to bring it right up to that bead, and we're going to tie it off right behind the bead. Now one thing I do not want to do is make too many wraps here and have a big brown collar. I want this all to blend in nice. So I just want enough to hold that wire on, and then I'm going to whip finish it off. I actually kind of don't want to collar at all if I can keep it without seeing it. So it's just pheasant tail to the bead, that's perfect. But a couple wraps isn't going to hurt it. And if you really wanted to, a hot spot wouldn't be a bad idea right here. You know, a nice pink or orange hot spot would actually look pretty good, but keep it small because this is a small fly. So that's all that's to the EZPT. And give it a try. Like I said, you can see the profile of it. It's got that buggy profile. It's just fish catching colors and size. So give it a try. The Firehole 320 hooks are perfect for this kind of pattern. And like I said, 2.4 millimeter bead was what I used. Really simple. Give it a try. Find all the stuff at our shop at holsingersflyshop.com. And don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Instagram, because we have tons of things going on at the shop that we update there regularly. Thanks for watching, everybody. Until next time, I'm Sean Holsinger.